Pocket fixed blades are here to stay whether you love them or hate them. In the fixed blade we're looking at today, there's a lot to love here. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb here and already classify this as the best value fixed blade out there, with a small asterisk, because this is the Asher Knives Little Buddy. And now Asher is not the biggest name in the knife community, and there's probably even a chance you've never even heard of them. I happened to stumble on them a year or so back, and I reviewed one of their folding knives on the channel last year. I could be wrong, but I believe this is just a single maker who behind the scenes outsources his designs overseas and then sells them direct on his website. And by using this model, he can keep the prices really low while still offering really high quality knives. And this fixed blade, the Little Buddy, is one of his more popular models, and after I got it in hand, it's really easy to see why. Really premium steel, it's comfortable in hand, it's a really great quality sheath, and just all together turns this into a really great everyday carry fixed blade. But what's even crazier about this is the price. But we'll actually cover that later on, so make sure you stick around because you will not believe how little I paid for this knife. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now right off the bat, this is for sure one of the more comfortable fixed blades I've ever used and carried, and a lot of that kind of comes down to its size. And this features an overall length of 7.1 inches and has a blade length of 3 inches. This means we have a handle of around 4 inches, which I can easily get a full 4-finger grip on and then some. I have small to medium-sized hands, so if you need a little bit more grip here, there's a lanyard hole here in the back. You can add a lanyard and it should give you a little bit more real estate. I actually find this handle incredibly comfortable, as this handle features a slightly curved shape here in the back, which rests really nicely in the palm. And all the edges are smooth, there's no rough edges or hot spots, and this micarta feels really nice and grippy. It also helps that this micarta on this version is milled, so there's even some more texture and surface area to really help you lock in your grip. This knife features some rather mild jimping, it's not really aggressive at all, on the spine, and I find it's in the absolute perfect location for my thumb when holding it in a standard grip. And with the jimping and the curve of the handle, all that kind of combined with the handle scales, this knife just gets an A+ in the comfort department. But I do kind of want to circle back to the overall size and bring out some other fixed blades so we can kind of get some comparisons going here. First up is the BMKT EDC1 Bowie, and it's a quick side note, this was absolutely one of my favorite fixed blades, and before I actually picked up this Asher, this was probably my favorite one. Now there's some competition, but still a great fixed blade. And here we can see that the Little Buddy is just a little bit larger, it's about a ½ inch of difference. Now we can check out an even smaller fixed blade, and I'll bring out the Concept Par. Now this is a little bit of a bigger difference, as the Asher here is about a full inch larger in the blade. So even though the Little Buddy is larger than both of these other fixed blades, I really promise you it's not really that noticeable. It's in a really nice sweet spot carry-wise for a really great EDC fixed blade. Now the most important part of a knife is the blade itself, and this one's really fantastic because first off, we have a Wharncliffe design, which right off the bat is one of my favorites. I don't know why, but I just really love this blade shape. I'm always drawn to knives that kind of look like this. For one, it's just a little bit different than your standard run-of-the-mill drop point or clip point, and it's really usable. Because with a blade like this, you have really excellent control, you have a strong, sturdy tip, and most importantly, it just looks cool. I will note that if Wharncliffes aren't really your style, they also offer this exact same knife with a drop point blade and smooth micarta scales instead of the milled ones like here. Now blade shape aside, we're actually getting a really fantastic steel here. This one's coming in with S90V, which is a rather premium steel, and it's just really great to see here. This is a stainless steel with really excellent corrosion resistance, and more importantly, it will take an edge for a very, very long time due to having very strong edge retention. The only one downside here is this steel is definitely a bit harder to sharpen than some of the softer steels out there, but still a knife getting a premium steel here. The blade features also just the smallest of branding on the show side with the Asher logo, and it's almost hardly visible. This also is a really nice stonewash blade, which should help hide some wear and scratches, and just looks like a tough working knife. With a premium steel like this and a really comfortable handle, this is just a workhorse of a knife. Though probably overkill so my own personal everyday cutting tasks, with a knife being full tank construction like this and having the makeup that it does, this knife can be used and abused and just continue to work no matter what. As good as a fixed blade can be, it can often be let down by its sheath, and unfortunately many are. However, this one is honestly rather good. And though I'm not in love with the tan color of the Kydex with the olive green here, it's still a pretty good little sheath. It comes with a really small pocket clip, so you can slip this in the pocket or on the belt, and more importantly, that's a really good retention. There's absolutely no wiggle or rattle, and once the knife is in here, it's really staying in here. It does have a small thumb ramp here, so you can get your thumb here and give it a little push off, and it comes firing out. I really like the fold over taco style sheaths like this one, as it keeps the overall footprint a lot smaller and slim compared to a sheath that instead would feature these attachment holes on both sides. I will say I wish this sheath was just a tad smaller, as when we bring back out the concept par sheath from earlier, we can see there's just a little bit of wasted space on this sheath. Still, it's a really good sheath and it works really, really well here. These knives are released in small batches and they often sell out fairly quickly. And coming in with the materials that it does, like the premium blade steel, you'll probably think these cost a lot more than they really do. At the time of this recording, this fixed blade will set you back around $100. Now for some of you out there, including me, that's not exactly cheap, but when you're looking at what you're getting here, I honestly think it's pretty fair, but there's more. Now, I actually picked this knife up for half that. I know what you're thinking, oh, I probably got this sent to me because I'm a channel, or I bought it secondhand to get that deal. But nope, I actually picked this up for 50 bucks directly off his site and had it shipped to my door just a few days later. So I'll let you in on a little secret about Asher Knives. They have a section on their site called Blems where they often release and sell knives that may have not met their standard of quality, and they offer them at heavy, heavy discounts. So let's take this knife here, for example. This apparently was a blemished model and did not meet their expectations. So I bet you're wondering, where's the flaw, right? And to be honest, I'm kind of in the exact same boat because I'm wondering that too. Because after looking this knife over and using it, I've yet to find a single thing wrong with it. All the edges are flush and smooth, the fit and finish is excellent, the blade grind is perfect and came razor sharp. The only thing I could feasibly imagine would be there's just a few of the faintest scratches on the blade, but even then, I'm not even sure that's it. So I'm really unable to locate a single flaw. I was able to snag this super comfortable fixed blade with a really premium blade steel for just 50 bucks. So I don't know about you, but I feel like that's probably my best buy of the year by far. At the full retail price, I still think this is a really strong buy. Sure, there are probably cheaper fixed blades out there, but this one comes with S90V, which is pretty rare at this price point. So is this the best budget fixed blade out there? Probably not. But is it one of the best fixed blades around $100? I think it's definitely a contender. Overall, the Asher Little Buddy is a really fantastic fixed blade for everyday carry. And at the price I managed to pick this one up for, this is one of my best buys that I could ever remember. It's pretty rare to have a knife hit all these points, comfortable handle, good sheath, premium steel, and all at an affordable price point. This managed to do all that, and I'm really glad I picked this one up because I'm really enjoying this knife. So let me know down in the comments, what do you think? Is this the next great EDC fixed blade? If not, what's better? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.